what is up, everybody? It's your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different. Today, I'm gonna be going over a new tutorial. Today, I'm gonna be teaching you how to make a basic EDM track. Obviously, the last video I made on how to make a basic trap beat was pretty good. And I've been getting a lot of requests on how to make a basic EDM track, where to start, how to structure it, and just some little tricks on automation and stuff like that. So I'm gonna play this little track real quick that I'm working on right now with me and my partner. And I'm just gonna walk you through just a couple of little things about it and how to make it, and just some sound design tips and automation tips. All right, let's go. And that's basically it. This is something I'm working on. It's not mixed or anything, so you know, mind the mix or anything. But that's just a basic start to an EDM track: intro, breakdown, and then the actual where it comes in. Of course, there's gonna be more add to when the song's done. Right now, this is only my half I done, and I'm sending it over to my partner to do the rest, and he can send it back in for mixing and mastering. But anyway, I'll start with, you know, what is EDM? You know, like what it makes a basic EDM track. Well, basically, the main thing you need to consider when making EDM tracks is your drums. Your drums are going to be a big part of your EDM. And if your drums aren't up to par, then nothing is. So you got to make sure you have really good drum samples. Like I have a bunch of good drum samples that I bought. There's all kind of drum samples. But you want like a really, like, let me see, party style drum sound. This drum I actually created myself. I actually made this drum from scratch. The one you hear right here and right here, I made these from scratch. I actually sound designed these drums. And how I sound design them, it's a little free plugin called Big Room Kick Synth. It's free. You download it, but pretty much it allows you to sound design your own kicks. And I'll show you. Turn on my keyboard. And we got presets. And also you can go to load, see if it'll let me do it. File, load patches. Nope. And there you go. Initialize. And you can start tweaking your kicks. You can just play around with it, you know. And you know, I just kind of, I'm not gonna go over how to actually use it, but actually sound design that kick. But you can find very good EDM kick samples out there, and you want to make sure that the kick is really focused in. So if I go to it, take this part off. As you can hear, I have a compressor on it, so it's gonna be kind of low. So I'll turn it up a little bit. It's a simple kick with a little click to it, because you want it to be able to burst through the speakers of like smaller devices, like such as iPhones and CD players and car radios, stuff like that. And all I really did with EQ wise for a kick drum, I just rolled out some of the highs and just them really lows, as you see, really lows and some of them highs. Just rolled them off. And then this right here is actually automation to where it's actually filtering out all the lows, and then it just kind of like as the beat goes, it comes back in, and that's what you hear at the beginning right here. And then you get to this part, it's the full kit with the bottom end and everything, and it's very easy to automate that in FL Studio. Like I said, I just highlight the part I want, just highlight what I want. I go to my plugin. Let's see if you can see it more. Drag it over. There you go. Just right click here, create automation clip, and then now I have an automation clip, and I can automate it to, like, you know, like I showed you in the previous video, have it come in and go out, or have it go in and go out. It's either way, you know, just basic automation clips. And that's all I did for this. So the beginning, I don't want you to hear nothing to kick. I want just like a filtered kick sound. And then when the beat come in, then I want all the bottom end to come in. All right, let's go to what else we got. The intro, you really want it very kind of, I want to say, building up. So let's take this sound, for example. This is one of the sounds I made. It's kind of a glided pad lead that I sound designed in Silent. I made in Silent right here. Actually, see, I made it in Silent. And this is actually part of my kit that's coming out. I'm actually going to be releasing this really soon. It's an EDM kit, so look on the way. It's going to be called Dark Matter. It's going to be for Silent, and it's going to be pretty dope. So look out for that. All EDM sounds, but this is one of them that's in the pack that I made myself. And that's all it is. It's kind of just gliding around, but I wanted to build up more, so I wanted to like filter out. So I wanted the kit, like the sound to actually like be like this. I wanted to. And you see how it's sweeping up, like it starts off filtered, and then as the beat's building up, it starts opening up, and you can hear all the air and everything inside the beat. And that's very easy to automate. I'll show you real quick. The way to do it in third-party plugins in FL Studio is kind of tricky, but it's just basically the same concept. First, you want to figure out what you want to automate. I want to automate this cutoff right here. So I should go. All I gotta do is go to Browse. Click the little triangle. You go to Browse Parameters, and then you move it, and it should highlight that parameter. Yeah, there it is right there. See, it highlighted. I right-click, create automation clip. And it should create me an automation clip. Did it create me one? No, it didn't. Let's do it again. Let's see. Go up here. Browse, triangle. Browse parameters. Move this parameter a little bit. There we go. And then create automation clip. And FL Studio is being retarded at the moment. Oh, it did. It did create me one. It's right here. Wait, it's right. Yeah, it created me one right here. Okay. Yeah, I think it created me one. But yeah, this is it. And then this is what I did with it. I just had it to where it just sweeps up. I just kind of added points to it. First, I copied this point. I just right click. I copied this point, added one in the middle, and I pasted it. And then at the end, I just kind of moved this one over. At the end, I just dragged it all the way up. And then I added another point, and I paste the same point, so it goes from here, it builds up, and then when it gets to the end, it drops back down to its original. And that's all I did. And as you hear, when you hear it with in contact with the song, see how it's filtered out, and then we get right here, start building up. You see the knob moving because of the automation clip. You see the knob right here moving is the automation clip. So you got the kick in this, and then that's the intro. Then I also added just one more sound right here. Let me play it for you. And that's nothing but a white noise pad I created in Silent. Also going to be in the preset bank. It's called Analog. And pretty much how I get that pumping effect that you're hearing, I actually did that in FL Studio. I used the love filter, and I created this little preset called Sidechain. So I was giving it that pumping effect that you hear. It was going in and out. Without it, it sounds like this. And then when I add my sidechaining preset, and I'll show you how to create that. It's very simple. Open up an instance of Fruity Love Filter, and to do sidechaining, you want to go to default. So you got nothing on it. You want to turn the filter off. Turn the filter section off. Just go ahead and cut that off. Now we're going to go to the cutoff, if I'm correct. Let me make sure I did it right. Okay, gotcha. Never mind. Take it back. We go to volume and we go to pattern. You want to add a point by right clicking. Remember, volume, pattern, add a point, and then you want to add another point. You want to bring this point down, and you want to add one more point right here. So you're just making like a little triangle, and then you want to click this on right here. That's that pretty much just syncs it to the tempo. That syncs it to the tempo of the track. If you don't do that, it's gonna sound like this. And then you put it on. Uh-oh. Come on now. What else I gotta click? Here, sorry about that. Oh yeah, my bad. And then you want to right click right here and go to, let's see, right click the first point, go to loop start, and then right click the last part and go to loop sustain loop in. Now that's all you do. You just go to volume pattern, make you a little triangle, and make a triangle to the middle and back down, and then remember right click loop start, and right click this last point, loop in. And that's how you make the cool little sidechain and pumping effect. You can also do it with a kick. You sidechain the original way with a kick drum. I'm about to show you that in a little bit. And then I did pretty much the same thing with the automation, but I did the actual cutoff filter and the release. So as it goes like this. You see the release right here. I automate the release, so the release gradually goes up as well. So when it ends, it's kind of just, it tails out. And this is the intro. And then we'll get to the end. And that's it for that. That's it for the intro. Now we go to the second part, which is kind of the breakdown part where, you know, the beat's about to build up. Nothing extravagant for this. Basically, I'm taking the pattern, the pad sound right here, I'm adding it right here. So it's the same as that. I added in this cool little pluck sound that I made, once again in silent. I made it in silent. It's gonna be my preset bank. Made a little pluck sound, so it sounds like this. But I put it in the mixer channel. Oops, excuse me. I added the sidechaining effect. I brought it down a little bit so it ain't as much. And then I just added some fruity fast distortion. And as you see, I'm using all FL Studio plugins. Like, I'm not even using no third-party plugins. Using all in FL Studio. So it is possible to make great sounding EDM tracks with nothing but FL Studio plugins. So that's what I'm trying to, your stock plugins can be the most powerfulest. So just remember that. All right. Then also, that's all I did. Just added the little distortion and the sidechaining effect, and I got this sound. Without it, it sounds like this. Then with the sidechain and the distortion. also I added the cutoff envelope, the same as I did with this. And as the cutoff goes, go to it. I'll show you. Once you get to the cutoff is going to automate. And that just kind of opens it up and adds some air to it. And then I added just standard kick and snare and hi-hat. Cymbal. Nothing spectacular there, just get a kick and a snare cymbal, you know, get your kicks and snare sounds you got and just throw them in there. I layered them together. I layered them. And one thing about layering stuff, when you layer sounds, let's go back to it. I go to when you layer sounds, I layered them and then I reversed the polarity on one of them. It just sounded more punchy when I reversed the polarity, but that's depending on the sounds you're using. Sometimes reversing the polarity will make it sound worse. Sometimes reversing it makes it sound better. You just gotta experiment. And then on the last hit, I added like a nice reverb, a real loud reverb 808 clack. So it sounds like this. You know, that's just something special. And then like I said, the cymbals next. Cymbal. It's not special. It's just a cymbal and it hits every 8 bars, I think, or every 4. And then I added the snare. That's for the build up right here in this part. And then I did the same thing with my kick drums. And then like I said, when I add back in the pad, but to really let you know it's about to come in, I added in this cool little, I guess, standard. It's like a standard EDM riser, which I made. It's also gonna be in my pack called EDM Big Rise, and it sounds like this. Yeah, that's in like all popular EDM tracks. And like I said, I just add the sidechain effect to it, because without it sound like this. And then you get the coming in intro. And then I have like a little snare cymbal right here, which lets you a reverse cymbal. And then we get into the drop part, which is all I did was add like a little, I had the kick drum. Let's see, it's just kick drum, snare, and then this cool little bass growl lead I made in silent. And what I did with that, I actually sidechained it to the kick drum. So how you do that, you click your kick drum, and then you want to go to the sound. You want to click your kick drum, and you want to go to whatever sound is to be on pattern 6. So I right click right here, this little triangle right here. It'll be like this if you don't do it, but just right click that and go to sidechain the track. And once you sidechain it to the track, you actually go to the actual sound itself, and you want to add a fruity limiter. What you want to do is you want to turn it from limiter to compressor, and then to sidechain it, all you're gonna do is you're gonna take the ratio all the way up, just squash it all the way up. You're gonna bring your threshold down to where it's towards actually starting to sidechain. I'll show you. You see every time the kick hit, it ducks out. It just ducks in and out. And then you just play with the ratio. You just turn the attack all the way down. You play with the ratio until you get to where it's the way you want it. And then I also added my sidechain effect on top of that, just to, you know, kind of beef it up a little bit. And that just, you know, added a little, it gave it just a little bit more sidechain effect to it. I think personally, I feel like it gave it just a little bit more sidechain to it. And then that's the first part. Then we go into the second part. I add this cool little kind of just like a little high pitched sound. And that's also in my silent bank, as also is coming out. And what I did to this is I just added the love filter. I just added my sidechain to it, so it sounded like this without it. And then when you add it with it, it gives it a pumping effect. And then to kind of close it out and add a little extra, I just add like a little cool pad I made. Another little silent preset space pad I made. And I just added some sidechain to that as well. This was before without sidechain. With the sidechain. Makes you just want to nod your head, don't it? And that's pretty much it. And that's a basic start to, you know, there's much more you can do to it, but I just want to show you the basic start to it, you know, from beginning to middle to where you start dropping and you bring it back. And, you know, there's a bunch of stuff you can do, add more changes, add more sounds, more automation clips. You can go crazy with it, but this is just basic right now. This is pretty much just basic EDM. So hope it helped. Hope it showed y'all a little bit. Like I said, you don't need these extra plugins that, you know, people are saying, you know, buy this, that, this filter, this effect, blah, blah, blah. You can use, like, literally, this is all done. I did all these in FL Studio. Like, I use no third-party plugins. I use all FL Studio plugins that come in FL Studio, just to prove the fact that you can make great sounding stuff with stock plugins. And that's something I really, really am starting to do now, is really make sure that all my stuff is like just using minimum third-party plugins as I can. You know, only using when I absolutely have to. They're probably, like, when the beat's over with, I'm probably gonna be using some third-party plugin. I don't know, maybe. I know for mastering I will, but for as far as making the song, nah, I can use everything that come with FL Studio, and you should too. Like, if you learn the basic stock plugins, then all the third-party stuff will be cakewalk, and you'll be like, why did I even purchase this? I could, you know, it's really, they make it easier, but then again, you learn more when you're using stock plugins. But anyway, hope this video helped. Like I said, I'm just doing this just to show y'all that it's possible to do anything, you know, with what you got. Because like I said, you know, I'm not motivated by the money, you know, I'm just motivated by likes, comments, subscribes, and views. So help me out by just thumbing it up, sharing it, comment on it. If you want more more tutorials like this, or there's anything else you want me to go more in depth into, because I can't go more in depth into a lot of these tricks, I'll be happy to. It'll be no problem. Just hit me up, send me a message, email me, like, comment, subscribe. You know, that's out. I'm gonna leave y'all with the beat one more time so I can hear it one more time through. But anyway, it's your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different, and I am out.